Hi everybody, my name's Eamon Boyle and I want to talk to you today about something I've called principled autonomy. So I'm one of the software trainers at a company called Install Software. Even though I'm a trainer, I've just come off a 3-month development assignment where I was working with TypeScript, React and Electron. And the team worked really well together, and I was thinking about this and thinking about, what made us an effective team. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how we run our teams here at Install. So who are we? Well, Install Software is a product-based software company based out of Belfast, Ireland. And we build software solutions for all sorts of companies. For companies that know very little about software, they're not software focused themselves, as well as powerhouses in the software industry. So we focus on the customer, we think about their needs, we try to understand their context, and then we build products and solutions that will delight. So we've teams working on all sorts of projects for all sorts of different kinds of clients, working on a wide range of technologies, working on things like desktop apps, as well as web apps, as well as mobile, using the cloud, all sorts of different platforms, things like the JVM, CLR, JavaScript, and native applications as well. We also provide consulting and training to companies on lots of different technologies, processes, and techniques. And that's the side of the business that I'm normally in. But I also do development work as well, just to keep skills fresh. So, like a lot of other companies, what we've realized is that not one process is going to fit all situations. And we don't rigidly prescribe a single process across the company that all teams have to adhere to. Instead, we focus an attitude and a mindset within the employees that they should focus on principles, and we give teams autonomy so that they could evolve the individual practices to their context so that they can best deliver value for the customer. So what are those principles? The first one, customer focus. Everything has to start from here. We deliver that through the second one, engineering excellence. This leads to the third, quality. Focus on quality in everything that we do. And the fourth one is employee development. And employee development is so that we can actually deliver the other three. It allows people to grow and be happy in their work and to realize that we are, as well as being a team, we're all individuals as well. So we find that if a team bases all their decisions on these principles, then the practices and processes will just naturally evolve. So what sort of practices do we do? Well, we don't start from zero. We use our own experience from previous work as well as the experience of leaders in industry, and we find that certain things will invariably work and lead to better results. So what are the kinds of things? Not rocket science. These are things that you're already probably doing. Iterative development, delivering things incrementally, and taking other techniques from lean and agile processes like using retrospectives to learn and evolve over time. Applying clean code techniques, focusing on testing, not just unit testing, but all kinds of testing, and also other kinds of automation. And always along the way using collaboration and communication, things like pairing, code reviews, one-to-one support sessions, all that sort of good stuff. But even in these guidelines, there's still tons of flexibility. So for example, in one particular environment, will end-to-end tests or unit tests add more value? Where should we be focusing most of our time? Should we be using a Scrum process here or a Kanban process or something in between? Should pairing be applied more, or is the domain very technical and you actually need specialists that are going to do deep dives to find solutions? So all of this, is about thinking how we can work most effectively with the client and their workflows and practices, and always thinking about context, backed by principles, customer focus, engineering excellence, quality, and employee development. Okay, I'm oversimplifying a little bit here, as this really only works if you have certain conditions. You need to have a good caliber of employee. Okay, they must be focused on the customer. They must also be highly skilled so they can actually deliver. And they have to have the ability to grow so that the team can evolve. And, our recruitment process has a lot of praise to receive for this. I mean, you really need to do that investment during the recruitment process, even though it's not necessarily the most enjoyable part of your job. It pays dividends in the long run. Another thing that you need is a good support system so employees can feel safe. Failure is something to learn from, and people have to be safe to experiment. They have to be supported by experienced team members and realize that it's okay to fail. That psychological safety comes within Instill anyway, comes from the CEO down. Everyone is supporting each other. It doesn't matter if it's a technical support, emotional support, work-life balance, everybody is there for each other. And certainly in COVID-19, that's really come through. Another thing you want to try and foster is an idea meritocracy. We'll have to create an environment where ideas stand on their own merit. It doesn't matter if the idea comes from a graduate or the CTO, ideas live and die by their own merit. If you do that, you're going to create an environment where egos can get out of the way. If an idea is criticized for one reason or another, it's not a personal attack on the person who raised the idea. It's just thinking about the idea in and of itself. And this is going to create a much better environment where people can effectively collaborate. People aren't afraid to raise ideas, and people are going to weigh the pros and cons of things on their merit. And all of this really stems from building trust. We have to build trust. We have to build trust between the customer and ourselves. We have to build trust within our teams, and we have to build trust within the team and the rest of the company. So intra-team trust as well. If you can get all of this in place, not only are you going to be effective, it's just going to be a much more enjoyable workplace. It's just going to be a more fun place to be. And that's just going to create a feedback loop where you're going to enjoy yourself. So then you're going to be more effective, which you're going to enjoy yourself. And it's just going to lead to a better experience. So in summary, if you want your teams to be successful, if you want your customers to be happy, focus on the customer's needs. Fill your teams with enthusiastic, skilled individuals. Get them to focus on principles, empower them, and build trust at all levels. Thanks for listening.